What's going on, guys? It's RPG Zeke here, coming at you with another video. This time it's a versus video. We're gonna have deck lists up on screen. There's mine, and then here is Dave. If you want to see those slower, go ahead and pause the video and go back and you can take a look for yourself. I am rocking a purple-white Tekkadan build. Meanwhile, one of the boys from Main Deck Masters, this is Dave. He's rocking a red-blue Zaft deck. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting right into it as I commentate over the match itself and gave you all these pretty overlays and animations as I'm kind of getting comfortable with it. We've got turn 2. We're going to play a Graze Custom, my little 2/2 unit coming down. We're going to use the other resource for an Overflowing Affection, start fixing the hand. We draw 2, ditch 1. We went ahead and ditched the LR Barbatos from the starter deck. That bad boy has suppression on it if it takes damage, but not like that's going to happen. Our Graze immediately is met with a close combat. So that dude is not doing any damage to the EX. We're now level 3. We're thinking about what to do, if anything at all. We're going to play 2 resources down to go ahead and drop a Hyakurin. So hopefully this guy can swing at the EX and crack the base. And this match video too, you'll notice the length on it. It's 40 minutes because we're going to be doing a best of 3 set. But you're going to notice there's a little something here about the best of 3, and we'll kind of get into it. But Dave responds by dropping a Buster Gundam. I respond by swinging with Hyakurin, cracking the EX, exposing those shields. We're going to go ahead and pay 1 for Harurubi. So what this base does is the first time one of my units takes damage from one of my own abilities, I get to tap it down to get 1 card from the top of my deck into the trash. We're going to go ahead and play Money, LR++ Barbatos first form with a Mikazuki linked underneath it. We're going to ping ourselves. We're going to ping the Buster, the only target. We're going to mill the top, and it's another Mikazuki to trash. And what we're doing here is we're wanting to self-mill is what you're going to find out my deck is trying to do, because when we're able to drop the new card we got this set, GD03 Gundam Barbatos Lupus, we're able to just clap back on the board and drop a whole bunch of damage. And this deck has been doing that very successfully for me, as you'll see here in these games. So with Buster Gundam, the only thing on board, we're going to go ahead and spend a resource 2, get a Vesalius. Dave's going to take a shield to hand, trying to fix his hand in some kind of matter of way of drawing. And we're going to go Legao. Legao is definitely one of those units on the bottom end that is absolutely scary if it's able to swing into targets. And all it needs to do is it's got to be 5 attack. It's linked with Atherin, so now it's able to attack the same turn it's played because it just needs a Zaft trait. And as long as Legao gets to the 5 attack, when he swings, he's going to be able to put 2 damage on another thing. He can even do the 2 damage on the thing he's swinging into. He just has to swing into a body and declare where the 2 damage is going, as it's an on-attack trigger. So Legao went right into Hyakurin. It took 4 damage. It can eat that because of the Atherin's +2 HP, and then it just pings the Gundam Barbatos off the board. We're going to go 2 for another Hyakurin. And another 2 for a Gundam Barbatos Adept. This is another new card from GD03. Allows us to ping one of our own units and then ping one of our opponent's units, so that Legao only had 1 HP left. We were able to kill it without having to sacrifice a body. And then we're going to spend our last resource for another Overflowing Affection. We're going to draw 2, ditch 1. And mainly what we're trying to do here is if we have a good amount of units in hand, we want to try and drop something that maybe is too heavy. For example, Gundam Barbatos Lupus. I feel like 2 Lupuses, you should be pretty good. You really don't need to see the other ones. You can throw them to the trash to use for the Lupus that does go to the board for that additional ping damage. Because the way Lupus works is for every 3 cards you exile from your trash that are units that are Tekkadan or Teiwaz, you can do 2 damage to something. Dave is not sick and tired of this move yet, so he's going to play out the same move again. He's going to go Legao, link it with Atherin, boost it once again, and because it is linked with Atherin this turn, it's able to swing into a body, so Legao is going to be able to proc. We're going to swing into the Adept, we're going to blow it up. It's going to take 2 from the Adept, but it reached over and did the 2 damage to the other Hyakurin. So now we're sitting here like, what do we do as this man just keeps dropping cards? Dave burns his EX as he drops a Gundam Aegis MA mode. That does have Breach on body, so it's got Breach 3, so it is going to be trying to look into swinging at our units and taking things away from us. We're going to go 2. We're going to do Fatal Strike. We're going to kill the Legal. Fatal Strike will kill level 3 or lower, so that's a great use of the Fatal Strike. We don't have to waste a unit to slam into it. I almost forgot to reset my Hadarubi, but we stood it back up because we didn't use it this turn. We're going to go Gray's Custom for 1, present a body to board. And for 2, we're going to go Ryusei Go, another card that is extremely good in the Lupus stack where you're able to just self-mill and start filtering. Ryusei Go says, ping one of your own units, including itself. It's a target. You draw one, ditch one. We ditched the Gussian Rebake to trash. And because that's the first time we ping something, we're going to take the top card and also throw it to trash. So as you can see, the thing we're looking to do is just get as many cards in trash in a good amount of time. So when we finally do get to that level 7-6 drop, we can drop Lupus and then hopefully start reeling in the board a little bit. Dave is going to go 3. He's going to play GD01 Gundam, and the way this card works is if you put a pilot underneath it, doesn't have to be Amuro, but if it is, it's the Link. If you have 2 other units, when you do the pairing, you're able to draw 1. So I was getting ahead of myself. I rested the Ryusei Go thinking that's what he wanted. However, Dave wanted to do the draw before declaring the Amuro target. Now he's decided to lay down the Ryusei Go, but he's throwing the 5 damage at the shields. And like I was saying before, now we're going to be looking at getting the Breach. So the Breach is going to check the first shield, and Dave is now kind of pressuring. We have the 2 damage on the MA mode. First shield checked is just a Hyakurin. He passed turn. It's my turn. He decided not to swing or use the Buster Gundam. Probably the smart play, but I guess we'll see if it pays off for him. We're going to swing the Gray's Custom into the MA mode. So we're going to go ahead and take the trade there. MA only had 2 HP left. Our Gray's only had 1. It does 2 damage. Why not? Sack the body. And again, unit in trash is just more fuel to the fire for our big boy Lupus. I'm having a lot of fun with this deck. I've tried a lot of different variations. You'll notice from my deck list, I run it pretty lean. And what I mean by that is I don't have a whole lot of bases. I don't have an additional draw, but I do have over 30 units in the deck, and that kind of does add up with how many I throw to trash. We're going to play an LR, Barbatos first form, and then we're going to go ahead and drop an Adept. Adept is really good on this turn, especially because now we're able to enable the Barbatos first form, and unless he's going to play another Amuro to get at it, or potentially another Atherin, we might be able to get several draws off this if we play our cards right, but we are going to see. He's going to swing Buster to shields. We're going to go ahead and check it. It is a Gussian Rebake. We're going to go ahead and go GD01 Gundam to shields as well. We'll give him another shield check. And we've got a Zahart. So Zahart's going to go to hand. That's one of the new pilots we got for GD03. The way that guy works is when paired, you just mill 2 from the top of your deck to the trash, and that's really good for this deck, and that's really what we're using it for. Zahart also has a meaty stat line. He's 2 attack, 2 HP, which is really needed in the purple landscape of things right now in the game. It is a very strong card if you compare it to something that has blocker. We're going to go ahead and swing the Barbatos at the shield, at the base, excuse me. We're going to do the 3 damage on. We're going to get the draw, and then we're like, you know what? That's what we needed. We finally got a Lupus to hand on that hit. And the reason we don't do Barbatos into a body is because we want to keep the Barbatos alive for draw, and we want to threaten that to the opponent and say, hey, if there's anything you want to kill, it's probably this, and we want to deter them from going to the shields. So if we can, Barbatos not swinging into a body, then we can do it with something else. With all these cards that I've counted in front of my opponent, it's now time to do the Lupus dance, where I make a very telegraphed decision on how much damage we're going to drop on the board, and that's exactly what we're thinking out here. And I go, you know what? This looks like a good, healthy amount. Let's bring him out. So now what we do is we pick 6 little pictures down here, our little Gundam portrait resources, and we go, you know what? If I mesh all these together and make a really pretty picture, I can bring out this really big monster. I'm just kidding. That's not how I think when I think about this. But we do turn 6 of these resources sideways. We drop the Barbatos Lupus, the LR Plus, very pretty card, and then we do spend the additional resource to get our Mikazuki August linked to this Lupus. Now that the card is linked, Mikazuki is going to allow us to ping one of our own units and ping one of the opponent's units. We go ahead and pick the Aegis Gundam. Barbatos can swing this turn as well since he is linked. With all the damage that we just calculated earlier, it's a board wipe, baby. We destroy the GD01 Gundam, the Buster, and the Aegis with that sick animation going off just to kind of show off the kind of power that the Lupus has. We still have our 3 units on the board, and we decide to swing the Adept and take out the Vesalius. So now the shields are exposed. We want Dave to feel a little threatened, and we've only got a couple cards in hand. I believe we've got 3 cards in hand right here. The way this deck works, at least the way I'm kind of constructing it, is I want to have not too many cards in hand, but I do want to be able to draw and at least mill myself out when able, because again, more units that end up in that trash, the more Lupus can start swinging at other things. And the reason we didn't swing there is we want to keep Lupus up, and Amuro can't lay down the 6 HP that he now has. So it's just a lightning rod. If we can get more units to trash, because Dave has to respond and do something here, he's going to drop a Providence Gundam. That's definitely something. But does he have the link after he dropped the Gamao? He's got 2 resources left. He drops a Zeno. And then Dave's going to pass here. So we are going to be able to get a second draw off of the Gundam Barbatos first form. Again, your opponent's not going to have a link every single turn. So you can line it up where you could use that unit to potentially get draws. We're going to spend 2. We're going to do Fatal Strike. We're going to get the Zeno out of there. So again, we don't have to go face to body or anything like that. We're going to swing the Barbatos again because the draw is more important than just popping the base right now. We need to see what else we can try to get. So we're going to put the 3 on the Gamao. And we're going to go, okay, things are looking pretty good. Dave's got 5 cards in hand, I think is what he was just telling us. And a lot of times, too, when you're playing these matches, this is over Discord. This is not in person. You do have to kind of ask that question several times over. What's in your trash? What do you have? We're going to spend the 3. We're going to drop Gundam Barbatos 6 form. This guy's been really cool. One of the Barbatoses that does come down with just 5 attack. And like I was saying earlier, Zahart here having the 2 attack, 2 HP makes that now just a big unit to deal with. It's a 7 attack, 6 HP. And that is a lot of fat to chew. We did mill 2 more cards, and we're thinking to ourselves if we're going to start using the Lupus proc. But I decided against it. We're just going to be like, you know what? If he wants to swing at our units to kind of come back, we'd rather him do that. But let's see what he does. We go 2 again. We're going to drop another Gundam Barbatos first form. We're going to swing the Adept. Crack the Gamao. No longer an option for Dave. And we're going to say what Dave draws after we pass the turn. He's got another Gamao, so it's like it didn't even matter. The Gamao is back. Dave, considering his options, looking at all of his pretty beta, hollow, shiny resources. That is money, good sir. And I left some of this in too, so you can kind of see, obviously, yes, if you do this, it's kind of telegraphed what you might have in your hand, but sometimes visual aids like that do make a difference on your plays. So don't feel bad about counting out your resources. And definitely don't feel bad about asking me how much HP everything has. You need to be able to play with all the information readily available at your disposal, and I will answer those questions for you. It is okay to ask your opponent what is going on. So at this point, Dave just wanted to check the HP of everything, because obviously Providence Gundam here, as Providence gets bigger, it's only going to start doing more ping damage every time it swings. It does, unfortunately, unlike Lupus, it does happen during the attack, and it is only to a single target. Meanwhile, Lupus is not limited to once per turn, and it's a beautiful card that Purple finally received this box set. I'm very happy about it. So he does play the Buster Gundam. He's going to pump Providence up even more, so it's got the additional 3 attack. This card's not respected enough. He's going to drop the Blitz Gundam. So now Providence has 8 attack, first strike, and it's going to be able to ping some stuff. He drops another Aegis Gundam, and again, Aegis is also an issue because anything level 5 or higher is going to be able to take ping damage if the Aegis can get to 5 or more attack. And I will tell you this right now, the way that board is set up, it is going to happen. He's selecting the Barbatos to strike, and then he's selecting the ping damage on the other Barbatos first form. And then he's also, during the action setup, going to tap down Gamao. So now he's going to be able to breach and hit us for a good shield check right there. So that big combo is a lot of bodies now, and I'm staring at lethal, and I do not have lethal myself right now with the current board state. We're going to see what I can draw, or what I can get into, or what kind of stuff I could try to make work here. I did pull something. I remember getting pretty happy about it. But we got one shield left and a dream. We go a couple of resources, and we drop Ryui. So the way this thing works is you ping one of your own units. You don't have to, but you can. Ping one of your own units to give it a buff, so it's going to get one additional attack. We did it to the one that has a whole bunch of HP left, the Adept. We're going to put Zahart underneath it. We're going to trash 2 more cards. So now Adapt is currently sitting at 5 attack, and I am staring down the Providence Gundam right now, potentially as that option. I asked Dave, just like he asked me, what's the HP on everything, because I'm about to start blowing some stuff up. After some time has passed and I've decided to deliberate with an AI bot on the side, I'm totally kidding, that's not how this works. We're going to swing our 7/6 Barbatos into the Providence, leaving it alive with 1 HP. But I figured, you know what, that's a pretty good trade. We can just get rid of his boss monster, take the 5 onto the thing that can chew it. And now, remembering that Buster Gundam only has 1 attack, we're going to be going for the Buster Gundam with the Adapt. And we're going to take that body away, because that is the card that buffs stuff, and that is a problem. And I'm staring at Aegis like that is the next problem to deal with. Because again, any kind of ping damage where he can get at Lupus when I'm not ready to use it and just turn it sideways with Amuro if it has at least 1 damage on it is a problem. So we're going to go ahead and use the Lupus ability, and we're going to ping Aegis off the board, only leaving him with Blitz. Blitz only has the 3 attacks, so at this point I feel pretty comfortable to just crack the base and finally use Lupus. And now next turn, Dave is staring down Lethal if he cannot deal with this board. Dave only has 1 card in hand. After vomiting all the units he just had at his disposal, can he draw into something? We go Blitz to the bigger Gundam, not the Lupus. But we are going to try and get rid of some bodies. So Blitz, get rid of the ground type. He's gone. Plays another Providence, but he does put Amuro on it. So there's no link, but Providence is now really big with his ability, and if he gets another Zaft unit, he's able to do a whole bunch of dirty things like boost the rest of his board with that pairing actually happening. We're going to stand everything up. We're going to give it another whack. And we're like, okay, 2 shields, 3 bodies. We can probably close it out. We're going to go 1 Hadarubi. And we did take the last shield to hand, and we're actually going to use the last shield. It's a momentary respite. It allows us to take a purple pilot from the trash back to hand. And I'm deliberating if I want Zahart or if I want Mikazuki. Not like you really need anything here. Everything's able to swing. Really, we would probably do Zahart just to get more Lupus if we really thought about it. But I think at this point I took the Mikazuki, because I was like, there's a chance that I draw into a link if need be, if I was able to. I don't know if there was really any thought there other than just going through extra turns when I didn't need to. But it is what it is. And the camera's rolling and we show off a little bit. It's called showmanship. Look it up. We go Ryue to shields. I'm probably saying that wrong too. Someone correct me if I'm totally butchering that. We got a Legao in the shield. We go Adapt to shield. It is not a base, so we get to live and swing for game with the Lupus. And we blow up the Providence deck. Good round 1. We're going to move on to round 2. Again, this is a best of 3 match. Kinda. You'll see. Round 2. Dave proceedingly punching me through the webcam instead of greeting me with his fist as a good sign or gesture to begin under a friendly bout of Gundam. He punched me. You saw it. I did not edit that in. Definitely punched me. Turn 1, I'm going second this time. We're doing Overflowing Affection. We're going to draw 2, ditch 1. Immediately starting off with what the deck is wanting to do is take all the heavy units we might have started after a mulligan or whatever and throw them in the trash. Sometimes it's a small unit and we just need to move on to something else that might be better here. So we got rid of the Gusian Rebig. Dave had nothing to play turn 2, a little concerning. We're going to go 2, we're going to drop a Hyakurin. As soon as we swing, we're able to crack the EX, and that's exactly what we want to do is pressure. Dave's going to pay 2, drop a Buku. That is a support unit in the Zaft family. Because again, Zaft gets bigger numbers on the attack and do bigger number things. And we don't want to see that continue, so we're going to pay the 1. We're going to go Hadarubi right off the rip. Again, this is the base. The first time one of our units is pinged, one of our units being Tekkadan or Tewaz, we can tap it sideways and mill ourselves for 1. We're going to go 2. Fatal Strike, one of my favorite purple cards, commands. It kills a level 3 or lower, not having to sacrifice a body to do so. We swing, crack the EX. I was about to tap Hadarubi, but then I was like, never mind. We didn't ping ourselves for anything this time. Dave going 3 for Show of Resolve. It's just going to allow him to draw 2. Dave seeking answers where none can be found in his deck. I'm totally kidding, Dave. Good job cooking. Alright, we got Gamao. So this is the one that usually gives his Zaft units breach in the action step. So definitely something to pay attention to. It will not give breach 5. It only gives breach 3. So not like it's going to crack our Hadarubi. But we do have to respect Gamao if he has something else with breach potentially. And he wants to stack more breach on. We're going to pay 3. We're going to do Ryui. We're going to go ahead and ping our Hyakurin. Again, this is the unit that will ping ourselves, give us the AP +1. And because we pinged, we're going to go ahead and tap down Hadarubi for the mill. We milled ourselves a Fatal Strike right off the top. Just after I was glazing that card, it disrespects me. And we pay our last resource, not the EX, for the Gray's Custom, showing that we've got 3 able bodies able to swing into shields if he does not respond. I'm kind of expecting, at this point, the Legao Link boost to potentially take 2 bodies away here, but don't think Dave has it. And I really liked this match because it kind of showcased the consistency. I'm able to keep dropping bodies and keep responding. You're going to notice Dave found what seemed like all of his bases, had like 9 cards in hand, and just wasn't seeing a line. And we're already, what, level 5 right now, and he went first. So in a little bit of a pickle. Kind of hard to bail ourselves out. If the hand be heavy, the match be quick. We go 3. We do a little something different. We go Buster Gundam with Atherin. That is going to allow Buster next turn to potentially boost a unit for Zaft and then restand back up, making it so Buster could boost something twice, or potentially boost, stand back up, and then swing at the shield if Dave has something he's trying to line up. That to me says, okay, I need to put more pressure down or make things really inconvenient for Dave to deal with. So we're going to pay the 2. We're going to go Ryusei Go. We're going to ping our Hyakurin, because it's already practically dead at this point. I'd rather put all the damage over there. We're going to draw 1, ditch 1 per the Ryusei Go effect. We ditch a momentary respite, and then this next part is absolutely hilarious. We just got rid of the thing that would take a purple pilot back to hand. We haven't seen a single one this whole time. And I go, oh yeah, I'll tap Hadarubi because I just pinged myself. Oh, I just ditched a Zahart on top of the momentary respite. These are the things you need to consider when milling your own deck for power. I should have kept that card in hand. Does that really make a difference here? Sure, I could have paired it, cracked the base, and gone 4 deep right now, but we're going to do things a little bit differently because I don't have any single unit that can just crack the 5. So take note, learn from me. This potentially could have ended a little bit sooner. Adept is going to go ahead and ping one of the Grazes that's able to attack. We're going to do the 4 on. We're going to swing the Gray's Custom. And then we're going to dive with Ryui. Last hit on the shields. Everything else came out this turn, so Ryusei Go, Barbatos Adept, and Gray's Custom are not swinging at the shields currently. But Dave is looking at 6 units, and that is quite the mess to clean up, if I do say so myself. I'm also sitting on 5 shields and a healthy base. The one thing I can constantly keep doing with this deck is just dropping bodies. Finding pilots sometimes is a little rough, but being able to just play bodies that are doing something for you and moving that game state is really nice. He's going to go ahead and play Zeno. At this point, Dave is probably a little upset, considering we didn't see the low end earlier. We're going to go ahead and put the Atherin on. This is a link for Zeno. So Zeno is going to be able to swing right away. You can pick a level 5 or lower. And if it swings into, I believe, a level 2 or lower for Zeno, it gets first strike. Dave thinks about taking Atherin back and goes, you know, we're going to keep the Atherin play. I was like, what are you going to do? Play another Atherin? And he was like, shut up. We got the 3 resources up. What could he be thinking? We're going to go ahead and do the boost. Again, Buster's able to boost that other Zaft unit, stand back up. And we're going to go ahead and do the Blitz Gundam. So Blitz Gundam, when it comes down on deploy, you're going to pick another unit and give it first strike. Going to pick the Zeno, and I believe it does have to be Zaft trait. I'm reading this stuff kind of quick, but I'm pretty sure. And now he can pick the whole board. Anything on this board he can run into, because Atherin says level 5 or lower. Blitz gives him first strike on anything, and this is a big Zeno. He decides to take out the Barbatos Adapt, the one with 4 HP. Zeno takes nothing back in return. Doesn't swing the Buster. Thinks about swinging the Buster. We talked about swinging the Buster. And he does, eventually, decide to swing the Buster. I thought he was going to take the Grays, but he wanted the Hyakurin. So at this point, he's wanting to make sure that I can't stack more damage on a base if I happen to hit one out of the shield area. Good play, it makes sense. But now the Buster did take 4 damage. It has 1 HP left. And I'm sitting in a pretty powerful stance at this point, all things considered. We've been able to mill, we've been able to self-ping, we've been able to tap down Harurubi several times. The trash is looking pretty good, but we do have 4 units, and he's only got 3 shields and a dream. If I have a link, we definitely secure and close it out. I'm looking at my pretty resources. I don't know what I'm doing. We swing Gray's Custom to shields. We get a check, it's a show of resolve, nothing happens. We go Gray's Custom to shields. It's a check, nothing, just a Buku. We go Ryusei Go to shields. It's an Amuro. That probably would have been nicer earlier. He shows me the hand. It is quite annoying. It's a lot of pilots and not a whole lot to do with anything else. For showing off for the camera, I link Zahart. I mill 2, and I swing with the Ryui. Boom. Dave is already packing up. He goes, I want to run that back. So we do. We do a 3rd round. So normally we were going to do a best of 3, but that one felt so one-sided. I decided, you know what, Dave? We'll run it again. Just for you, bud. Just for the Main Deck Master channel, because we go way back. We'll run it back. Also, look at that shield area. The amount of interaction. We're doing the pity round 3. Setting up. Dave is in tip-top form. Says he likes his hand. He's digging it. I believe this hand, I don't recall this hand being anything that really stuck out to me. Typical turn 1 play for Dave. Resource pass. I decide to do the same. Draw. Resource. Oh, I had a turn 1 play. Gray's Custom, baby. Lo and behold, he will always show and shine through when I need him the most. Gray's Custom. Dave, 2 resources, nothing to play, or at least he didn't want to. I'm 2nd resource. I go, you know what? For 2, show him the gas. Hyakurin. So again, looking to get that play where we swing EX and then dive right into a shield right after, unless Dave has some kind of response here. Dave is going to drop a Buku. Do I give it a Fatal Strike? We're going to hit level 4, my favorite part of purple, fatal striking things off the board. We do not. We pay the 1. Overflowing affection, not Ristic Study, you magic fools. We drop a Lupus. Again, too many Lupuses in hands, bad thing. Can that sometimes come back to bite us because the purple deck right now doesn't have a whole lot of attack power? Potentially, but Lupus is so strong, we just blow things up. So we ditch 1 to trash. We go Hyakurin to EX. Of course he has interaction. First shield check by Gray's Custom gets us a base. Last 2, we play a Ryusei Go. We ping the Gray's Custom, because again, I've learned from the first match against Dave, we don't want to put it on the Hyakurin, because if he threatens the Legao, it would just take the bigger thing and then potentially take the smaller thing down with it, because Ryusei and Gray's Custom without damage on are just 2 HP, and we don't want to make Hyakurin an easy target. And again, when me and Dave play, we don't see the deck lists before. Like, we play them blind. So I have no idea what he's built. I really have no idea what he could be thinking or what combos he's going to do. But he's going to pay the 2. He's going to drop a Legao to the board. And then he's finally going to show us the new pilot Zaft got this box set. Ryula Crescent. I think that's right. I'm probably getting that wrong. But when he's paired, he can... Or sorry, when he's linked, he can get a Zaft base from trash. This is obviously very early in the game, so no bases have actually been hitting the trash. But it does allow Legao to swing and immediately get the 5 attack, because the Versailles boosted it from 4 to 5, allowing the Legao to get the hit and the ping on another unit. It didn't even have to use the Buku. Decides not to swing the Buku and just to leave the Legao down. We're going to go ahead and go 3. Favorite 2-card combo, another one. Ryui, we're going to ping the Hyakurin now. We're going to go ahead and swing the 5, crack the base. Get that base out of there in 1 turn. That's always nice to see. And we do pass. Even if he swings Legao into the Hyakurin and ping the Ryui, Ryui has 4 HP, it is not going to die from the ping. He could also swing the Legao into Hyakurin after it's been boosted and decide to put the 2 damage on Hyakurin and never collide with it or take the damage. But he's instead going to play another base, because that's all Dave finds is bases, apparently. We're going to go ahead and link the Amuro. We're going to go ahead and lay down the Ryui. And now we're going to boost the Legao back up. We're going to give it first strike because, again, Blitz Gundam is not respected enough. Legao now has first strike. It will clear the board, pinging the Hyakurin out of here and then swinging into the 4 HP Ryui. And then we're going to swing the Buku into the EX base, and the EX base is gone. My shields are now exposed, as are my feelings. And this is where I cry. We draw, hand's not looking good. I don't remember being super ecstatic about what was taking place. We go money, LR++ Barbatos into Gundam Barbatos Adapt. We're going to go ahead and ping our Barbatos, activate it, say, hey, if you don't deal with this card, it's going to get me a draw. And then I decide to put the damage on the Legao. Didn't find a pilot. Felt a little rough, but we did find this pilot, Zahart Galette. Again, we're going to mill 2 to the trash, playing our own little mini game while trying to stay alive and hope Lupus can just bring it on home if he sees the board this time around. Dave, paying 3, GD01 Gundam, is saying, I want the draw for 1. He does Atherin underneath the Gundam. I thought it was an Amuro several times in this match on that same pairing. And I was like, oh, lay this down. And he was like, no, Atherin. And I was like, okay, I don't understand. Like, it was not computing there for a while. So he got his draw from the GD01 Gundam, because again, any unit paired, as long as you have 2 or more other units next to it, you're able to get a draw. We're going to go Blitz Gundam to shield. We check a Gray's Custom, no interaction. We're going to go Buku to shields. It's a Hatarubi. Hot dang, we've got gas. We're going to shield up, take a shield to hand. We're going to boost the Legao. It pops the Hatarubi. Doesn't get any use for us as far as milling ourselves for more fuel. And now I've got to deal with 5 units wide that I am having the worst time trying to stomach how to deal with. Draw. We are going to use the Barbatos this time to start taking some stuff. We're going to draw, get rid of the Blitz. We could not afford to let that be a threat because that is lethal. 5 units wide with only 3 shields is not a good play, so we got to start taking things away. We're going to Fatal Strike the Buku. Took me a while there to decide. And then I was like, I think I can get rid of the Legao, but you're going to find out I couldn't figure that out. But we get Legao pretty close to dying from pinging, let me tell you that. We go Gundam, Barbatos, 6 form ground type. We're going to put Zahard under there. Again, enables it to be a 7 attack, 6 HP, so Amuro can't touch that bad boy unless we want him to. Amuro, come catch these hands. Or this chainsaw, mace, scissor thing. If you watch Iron-Blooded Orphans, that would make sense to you. If it went over your head, I'm sorry. We do go the Adapt. Unfortunately, we couldn't ping it off the board, so we do have to smack it that way. I almost passed without doing anything with it, totally not thinking about, oh yeah, that card can swing this turn, duh. Dave considering his options as he reels me in like a fish on the weekends. Goes to shield, Ryu say go, no interaction, once again. And again, this deck doesn't have a whole lot of interaction. Hitting Momentary Respite nets you a draw, and then hitting a Fatal Strike gets you a ping on something, which can add up. We are going to go Aegis MA mode, boost it with the Buster Gundam, and we're going to do First Strike again. So this MA mode is getting Breach 3. It's a big boy. It can kill my level 5 or lower swinging into it actively. It takes no damage back, and it's an insane combo. It checks me for a shield. A lot of things are sideways. I can maybe do a lot of work here. However, that is not going to be the case. I will tell you right now, Dave absolutely reels me in this pity third round. Made me very upset. But what I'm doing now is deciding how I want to take these trades, if I can slow him down at all. I didn't want to give up. We're going to go Gundam Barbatos Adapt into the GD03 Gundam. And then initially my thought was, okay, that has Amuro under it. It's only got 4 HP, 5 attack. Wrong, it's Atherin. It's got a whopping 5 HP. I start counting cards, not realizing the Gundam's on the board, and I didn't really think a lot of things through here. So you're going to notice me clumsily stumble along, and again, I kept this in for context. It's obviously over Discord. You can only get so much out of it from some of the camera stuff sometimes, which is why I'm doing these pretty images on screen so you guys can get a better takeaway of the turns being played and things I'm considering. But several times, that was an Atherin underneath that Gundam, and I asked him, and I was like, oh man, I was like, I think you got it, because I literally can't hit the 1 HP if I stack all this damage on stuff. But we still try. Gundam Barbatos Lupus to board. We pay 2. Drop another Hyakurin, because we didn't find a Mika here to get the link and go into something. Otherwise, we probably would have been in a better state. We're going to blow up the Buster for 4 of the damage, and for the other 6, we're going to get rid of the MA mode. And then right there, I'm staring at 2 units with 1 shield. It is a rough time. And again, like, this just kind of shows Lupus is really good. Obviously, I have a whole bunch of fun brewing a lot of concepts and decks around this. We're actually going to have an episode of Sleeve This tomorrow, talking specifically about Tekkadan and Tewa's decks and things you could do. I've sourced a lot of different decks from the community, as watched a lot of videos, including the one from the Gundam broadcast that also did a very similar deck. And there's a lot to work with here now that Lupus is a payoff for the purple archetype when you're just doing Tekkadan and Tewa's. It's definitely one of my favorite decks to play in this format. At this point, Dave is going to proceedingly show off for the camera in this pity third round. And I say that out of spite. Pity, Dave, you know what this was. This was a pity third round. I got you, bud. I case closed you in 2 rounds. Why do you gotta hurt me like this? But Barbatos' biggest weakness, in my opinion, is going to be any unit with an odd number of HP. I know it sounds really silly, but for every 3 cards you exile, you can do 2 damage. If it has 3 HP and you can't get the ping to just take down the last remaining HP, it feels bad. There's no nice way of saying it. It just feels bad. Once again, thank you very much, Main Deck Masters, for sitting down and playing the Gundam trading card game with me. You can check out the Main Deck Masters channel with the link in the title description of the video, as well as the title, and I will catch you guys in the next one.